Hi, Cosmo Barbaro with Cosmo Barbaro Furniture, and today I'm going to be showing you how to glue up a sapele side table. I'm doing two sapele side tables. I'll show you in a second the background. I have one glued up. And I'm going to give you a bird's eye view. I'm going to be only doing it on the floor so you can kind of see me go through the process of painting the mortise and tenons and what it actually takes to glue something up. It's quite involved. And today I'm going to be using Type on 2. You can use Type on 3 or Type on 1, but I prefer this one. If you need longer open time, this is only 15 minutes. You want to use the West System epoxy. So what I'm going to do is tilt the camera down. I'm going to start gluing this up from the back to the front. And it's going to look terrible. There's going to be glue everywhere. I'm going to go through the process of just getting it stood up, clamped up rough, and all the glue wiped out. And the most important thing at the end I'm going to do is show you how to square it up. Okay, so here we go. Wish me luck. I'm going to tilt the camera down and get going. Okay, so here are all my parts. Oh, incidentally, you might have seen that in the background, but I'll show you that maybe at the end. Here are all my parts. To get here, you want to sand to 80 grit. Obviously, all your joinery is done and all your orientation is done. All my clamps, see how organized this is? It's very important to be like this. So here we go, 15 minutes. Now, I'm not going to do much talking, just spread in the glue. And you want to make sure you coat both the mortise and the tenon. And I do everything. I'm not clean with my glue ups. It's important to see squeeze out for me, but I could probably do a little bit better in terms of being clean and not having as much squeeze out. Okay, there's one. I'm just using an acid brush. You can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's. And on the back here, the mortise and tenons are actually mitered together. And that's a nice little trick that you can do if you're fighting for space, like I am here. Okay, I'll get this put in. Now I got my cabinet mallet. If I need to move things, I can. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to glue the backs. I'm just making sure I thoroughly coat everything on the inside of the mortise. I'll show you here in a second. That's pretty good. Looking pretty good so far. And when you're doing a glue up, you want to be really calm. You don't want to panic, and part of that is just being prepared. It takes practice. But the worst thing you can do is not be prepared or have something freeze up because you didn't check it, and that's the worst case scenario. In that case, you kind of have to start over, so you want to take your time here. I'm just removing a little bit of the excess here. I need to adjust this one just a hair. Very nice, very nice. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the front. Take the excess glue out of here. Get this guy coated up. There's a little sliding dovetail in the front here that I gotta get coated too. And now I'm just checking for my alignment. What I'm gonna do now is just stand it up real kind of gently, like that. And now I'm gonna get this guy glued in here. Okay, now I'm gonna start clamping up. And all this stuff will get cleaned up in a second. Or I'll just rough do it right now, I should say. Just water, just a wet rag. And I'm just doing this so it doesn't, the excess doesn't run down the leg. And let's see here. Okay. And that's pretty good. Now I'm going to get some clamp pressure on here. All this, what I'm doing is just saving me time in the end after I unclamp it. Okay, now let me get it under clamp pressure here. Okay. And these are just cheap bar clamps. And I'm looking for squeeze out, and I'm looking to make sure that my joints are tight, and I already know that they are. And then I kind of have to, I might have to do this instead here. So I need a little bit more room. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Now I'm gonna clamp across long ways real quick. Same thing on the other side. Now I want these up a little bit because I'm putting another clamp on the bottom. I'm putting 2 clamps across everything, if that makes sense. And I only switched this one because I need a little bit more room. And I am using a lot of pressure. I am clamping this. I have the ability to sand out any dent, but I don't want to crush the wood. I just am in a position where I can put the clamps directly on the wood without worrying about it because I have to sand it afterwards, if that kind of makes sense. Okay, now a long way across here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this. There's a sliding dovetail right in here on either side. I'm going to pull that together with a couple little clamps right here. And they're always tricky because you're always fighting for room, usually. Get this over here. One more clamp across here. Let me go a little lower. Now it's always tricky trying to, right now I'm just fighting for space right here. I guess I'll go with it right here. Okay, now now I'm just going to clean everything up with a rag, and then I'm going to check for square. I'm going to show you how to do that. So just bear with me. This is important. This will save you tons of time. And as far as glue ups go, this is going quite well. You know when it isn't going well, because all you know what breaks loose. Again, it's just about being prepared. Probably the same with everything. Okay, where did I put my water? And I just have I have just a water and another acid brush to get in the tight spots. Don't worry about getting water on the legs. It's all going to clean up when you get to the end anyway, so be good to go. And really here I got a lot of squeeze out in here. It's just clean up now, just clean up. And then the most important thing is we're going to check for square. And the reason it's important is there's a drawer that goes in here. So if I'm not square, it's a problem. Okay. Okay, now let me tip this up a little bit and I'll show you how I check for square. Get this stuff out of the way. So I don't know where I'm going to be at, but I'm going to find out here in a second. So the way we check for square is we use a tool like this. Okay, this is a folding rule, and it's got this little bit right here, and I've already got it set up. And you set it up like this with the back part folded in, and then you use this to figure out where you're at. So what I do is I go from corner to corner. And then I adjust. So right now I'm off 1/8 of an inch. This is 1/8 of an inch long, which is not really that much. So I'm gonna pull it this way with a clamp. And remember, whatever the distance is, you only go half of that distance. So I've got some long Destacos here. Or not Destacos, I'm sorry, quick rips. Let's see if I can get it. Hooked where I need to get it. Check it again. And that's too much. Too much. And that is probably it. Yep. Check that right underneath that clamp. Boom. Now we're square. That's super important because there's a drawer. I'll show you here. This space in here, okay, this must be square across here because there's a long drawer that's going in there. And that's why I take, that much time to make sure it's square. So take a look. Look at how many clamps. A lot of clamps. You can never have too many clamps. Thanks for watching.